Welcome to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports, folks. On this cold Monday, chilly, snowed-in day. Got my man Ethan trapped somewhere. We're having to do a Zoom call because either one of us can get out and get going, trying to keep it safe. What's up, Big E?
Not much, man. Just what you've been saying, been snowed in. I'm over at my friend's house, so luckily I'm not as bored as I would be out here hanging out with my friend, just playing some video games, eating a lot, normal.
Hey, that's what happens when you're trapped like this, man. There's nothing to do but sit around and watch Netflix. I think I watched every Netflix movie that's out. We even watched some different show my niece hooked me up with last night, man. It had commercials. It was free, but it had commercials in it, man. The movie was kind of crazy, but I'll tell you, I watched some pretty good shows on Netflix, man, and got a chance to catch up on watch little Zoe's basketball, some of her games that we filmed. But what else going on, Big E, man? You know, a lot going on with high school wrestling right the corner. Girls regional finished up last week. Our girl Peyton, you know, she brought home a regional championship, so she's going to state. She punched her ticket to go to state at the weight at 112. As you can see that she's doing her big thing, man. I love it that, you know, we got a young lady like her that can go out there and take care of business. So a great job on Peyton, you know, taking care of, you know, her business. That's her. If you can see in the background, you got her and Benny, Becca, the legend, and, you know, Benny Coleman, the legend. And then, you know, girl Peyton, you know, winning the first girls, actually, it's the first girls regional championship. So great job to her and Choctaw ladies. I guess she is the only lady for the Choctaw Yellow Jackets, you know, winning her weight at 112. So great job to her. But I guess we got some things we could talk about, you know. What's we do? We keep it 100. I know we ain't got to see each other. You know, last time we really kind of linked up. We had Goose on with us, you know, the OSSA guy, you know, talking about what's going on. And, you know, probably since we talked to him, things just changed with the weather because, you know, regional was supposed to be last week. It's supposed to be this week. So I think they changed it again to Thursday and Friday this week if weather's permitting. So then you got, dual state coming right after. You know, it's funny how they're doing it because usually you do dual state first for wrestling and then you go off to state. But this year they're doing state first. And so even if you get beat out in state, you still got some to look forward to after state because you can go try to win a dual state championship. And, you know, when you win a dual state, you get a ring for that too. So good luck to all the teams that's going down. I kind of got the brackets on that, broke down. It's going to be some good stuff, you know, starting in the 3A. You're going to have Marlowe and Perry kicking off. And this is all going to be held at the Enid complex there in Enid. Then you got Bridge Creek and Perry. You know, Perry's they always win it in 3A as a team. Then you got Blackwell and Comanche. Comanche's always pretty salty, pretty good wrestlers there. And you got Venita and Jay. Jay is funny. Zoe's other basketball coach, Chase Youngblood. That's where he's from, Jay, Oklahoma. So good luck to him. Good luck to him and his boys in Jay, Oklahoma. Never been there. Probably won't go there. In 4A, you got sorry, let me get to it. It's a little different doing it like this. Yeah. In 4A, you got the mighty Tuttle, which Tuttle got beat this year, man. You know, Tuttle haven't really lost a regular home duel in so many years, and they got beat by Mustang this year. You know, their head coach Zerber, you know, he ended up becoming a principal. His son's wrestling up there at Oklahoma State, so I think he kind of stepped down to have more time with him and his daughter. So you know, he ain't the head coach anymore. He's a principal over there. So they took a beating. So they'll kick off with Bristow. And then you got Wagner and Fort Gibson, which you think of Fort Gibson, Arkansas, right? But I guess, you know, Fort Gibson's here in Oklahoma. So Fort Gibson be battling. And you got Blanchard and Weatherford, which Blanchard, you know, they got Cody Hill that used to be over at Choctaw. He's kind of turned that program around, you know. He wrestled at Tuttle as a young man, but now he was at Choctaw for a little bit, but now he's went to Blanchard and turned that program around over there. So good luck to him in the Blanchard Lions, you know, because like I said, he's done a great job with that program. He's got them turned around. And going into 5A, you got Collinsville, which is probably the top team in 5A. You know, wrestling, man, they're loaded. I mean, every year in and year out, they got Jordan Williams that signed with Oklahoma State. You know, last year they had Cook. He signed with OU. So every year they got guys that's signing with, you know, big Division I, Division II big schools. And you got Duncan against Coweta, which, you know, Coweta is known for wrestling. That's just a hell of a name, Coweta. You know, I don't think you want to mess with no boys from Coweta. Then you got Glenpool taking on El Reno, which, you know, Tyron Lewis, ex-Oklahoma State wrestler. is coaching at El Reno, and he's turned that program around. Back in the day when Archie had it, they were salty back in the early 80s, 90s. Archie kind of had it, but Tyrell is kind of turning around himself. I got El Reno on the map. I'll tell you, 6A is tough, man. For the Mighty Jackson, man. Benny got his work cut out. I'll tell you, man. You got Edmond North. Anybody can win dual state. Any of these teams that can win dual state can also win state. And you got Edmond North kicking off a Union, which, you just kind of down a little bit, but Edmond North should take that. Then you got Mustang and Choctaw. This team last year was in the semifinals. Now they're meeting in the first round. As it tells you how tough this year has been. I tell you, man, that's a whoever loses that, man, that's a tough deal because most of one of those, either one of those teams could easily be in the finals, but one of them's not gonna make it this year or make it to the semifinals because hey, once you beat you out. So Mustang and Choctaw, they'll kick off Saturday morning at 9:30, and they're doing this all I think like Goose has said they're doing what 6A and 3A together. So it'll all be done once instead of having a 2-day event. They're gonna have it a 1 day, get you in, get you out, have your mask on, get you out the door. But then you got Broken Arrow and UConn, which UConn hasn't been in the dual state the last few years that I've been around, but I guess this year they got a good enough team. They made it. And Ponca City, Ponca City's tough, man. Ponca City's one of those teams, man. You got a bunch of country thick guys out there, from some brothers or to some cowboys. So Ponca City is doing their thing, man. I know when I think Gabe was a sophomore, he wrestled one of the Strickland boys, and that team was pretty salty, but I guess they kind of come back around, and they got Bixby, which is another team. They're the number 2 seed team in this dual state, so they got a good chance to win it. Win it too. So like I said, any of those teams can win it though. It's loaded. It really is. Yep. The funny thing about it though, Big E, we talk about it, and Stillwater's not even in this bracket. And they're one of the best teams. Carter Young's team didn't even make it. That just tells you how tough it is. But Stillwater can turn around and go win a 6A state championship in wrestling, but they might not win a dual state championship. So it's kind of crazy. I know one year Benny did the trifecta. He won dual state, then he won the 6A, and then he turned around and won academics. So that's pretty cool to do that. But I tell you right now, it's kind of funny. Stillwater's not even in this dual state. But what else going on, man? Basketball. I saw the Mighty Bombers got a little revenge on your Yellow Jacks of the night. Where you go, Bombers?
Yeah. There's a lot. We got regionals coming up for basketball, but we'll get right into that after one of our sponsors.
Hey, Zoe, I'm looking for some good insurance. Do you know anybody?
If you're tired of messing with the general, call Bobby Lewis. He can take care of your cars, house, boats, and even your pets. He has 2 locations, Dell City, 4805 Southeast 44th Street. The number is 405-670-3665. And his new location is 1654 South Choctaw Road, Suite 107. Like a good neighbor, Bobby Lewis is there.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Linex Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
What's wrong, Zoe?
Hey, don't worry, Tony. We got our guys at Proactive Protect to keep us safe. They can come out to your house, school, or even your business. You can give them a call at 844-X-Virus-X, which is 844-984-7879, or you can visit them at proactiveprotect.com.
You're always protected by Proactive Protect.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. You just heard from some of our sponsors, but now we're going to get into a little bit of basketball regionals. Got regionals right around the corner here in a couple weeks. So first matchup in 6A East is Dell City versus Ponca City. We talked about Dell City the other week. They're getting hot at the right time. So they're, they didn't start out too hot, but they're getting good right around the time that they need to. So
right at the right time.
Yep. And then we got Union. The next matchup, we got Union and Putnam City West. That should be a pretty good game. Putnam City West, they're doing pretty good this year. We talked to their coach earlier this season, and looking to see to get them boys a state championship. So
I,
we'll see
I,
how that goes.
I tell you, Big E, though, man, they've been struggling the last few weeks, though, man. They've been getting beat, man. So I don't know if they got some kids. I tell you, with all this COVID and you got this snow, I mean, when they're getting time to get practice in, I just tell you, it's tough. It's taking a toll, man. You know, at the beginning of the year, you know, me and used to say, with football, we would say COVID's winning every weekend, but now you got to say Mother Nature and COVID. I mean, you're getting the 2 for 2 right here, man. You got Mother Nature taking over. You got COVID taking over. I just tell you, man, it's tough on these kids to try to get games in. You got baseball supposed to start any day, and they're not getting to start their scrimmages because, man, I mean, this weather's going to probably be like this another week or so, you know. I mean, what's the temperature that you're sitting at right now? I think my wife said something was like 1 degrees. You know, I went and ran to the store and got a bag of ice, but, you know, it wasn't too bad, but I was in and out, though. I mean, I let the car warm up about 30 minutes before I got in it.
Right.
But I tell you right now, man, I mean, I would wish for anybody to be outside in this longer than 10 to 15 minutes. You couldn't handle it, though. But sorry to interrupt you, though, but what else we got in regionals?
Regionals, still working down the east side bracket. We got in 6A, we got Jinx and Sand Springs. A couple teams you don't really hear a whole lot about as far as basketball goes. Maybe Jinx, you hear about them a little bit, but you know, they'll be playing at Broken Arrow. They'll be hosting that, and then next we got Broken Arrow and Enid, and you know, Broken Arrow playing in their house for regionals. That'll give them some kind of advantage. You know,
Sir.
some of their fans there making some noise, making some ruckus. So we'll see how that shakes out. And then we got Norman North at Stillwater. Norman North is hosting. So same thing with Broken Arrow. They'll have their home people there cheering them on, making some noise against Stillwater. And then Midwest City, the team that you just talked about, your Mighty Bombers, playing Bartlesville. And, you know, Midwest City's got a bunch of talent. A guy that I really like to watch is Izzy Hart.
He had a good game the other night, Big E. Yeah. He had some big-time shots. I tell you, watching that game, I got a chance to watch all that game. You know, the week 4, Midwest City had just beat Choctaw just beat Midwest City, and it was all over Twitter. You know, Coach Corbin's all pumped up, excited that the Jackets won. But I tell you, though, man, I mean, you know, it's a good rival game, and they got a rival in football, and they got a rival in basketball. But I tell you right now, you know, I got a chance to watch Choctaw, you know, really for the first time, man. That number 1 kid, was it Valentine's or whatever? Yeah. He didn't have a really great game, and you know, Midwest City was up by 14, and Choctaw brought it back, man, and you know, made it a close game. I think they only won by 4, but I mean, Midwest City only won by 4. But watching that game, man, you know, the Franklin kid's pretty good ball player, man. They had a kid that come off the bench, man. Freshman, about 6'5", Choctaw did it. I just tell you, man, that kid was pretty legit. I know they talk about the Valentine kid, but that kid was pretty legit, though. And not having Terrell Davis this year or Jordan Mukes, you know, it kind of hurts not really their depth, because it's still like they still got some depth. They didn't go too deep. I never saw the Burchett kid come in, you know, so I don't even know if Bo Hawkins is playing. Never saw him come in the game. But, you know, just talk about that rival, though, man. So much stuff is going on. You know, that's what we do. We keep it 100. You know, I'm hearing some, you know, investigation going on with some of these schools and kids getting recruited, and parents are talking to kids and all that. And I don't know. I mean, you know, I got my facts and theories, but, you know, it is what it is. I've never been a one that, you know, I think everybody can go out and get kids and make them try to come to their program, and, you know, and I mean, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. It's kind of like recruiting in college football. You want that kid to come here. You tell that kid to come to this school. Hey, you come here, man, we're going to win the championship. And it goes on every sport, man. It goes on football, basketball, wrestling, golf, tennis, whatever sport it is. It goes on. So don't act like it don't happen, because it does happen. But I truly believe, though, you know, and I'll tell you 1,000 times, and I'll tell you 1,001, you know, we had a chance to leave and we didn't. And, you know, we kind of talked about it. You know, I was ready to, you know, take my kids to Westmore. We even thought about Dell City because my mom lived in Dell City. But, you know, my biggest thing is that, you know, I really didn't want to pack my kids up and move, because, you know, what is it teaching them? Hey, you know, some's not right. You know, hey, it's time to move. I don't think that's right. I think you kind of stay where you're at. You know what I'm saying? I think you stay in the middle of a fight that, hey, I got to go finish this battle, in which they did. We ended up having a great year that year. You know, the boys ended up, you know, finishing strong, and, and you guys did. But I just think, parents, think about it before you do pack up and live. And, because what happens if you do leave a kid and the kid don't get eligible, guess what? Now he's ruined for that year, especially if he's a junior, fixed to become a senior, and he can't play. So think about all the things you do before you do pack up and leave. And think about it. Sometimes the grass is not always green on the other side. I know people saying, oh, Choctaw's getting kids recruited. I mean, is it really they're getting kids recruited or these kids are really that good? I mean, it might be a little bit of, they're getting them recruited, but it might be a little bit of both, that these kids are good though. You know what I'm saying? That, hey, no one thought Jordan Mix was going to be the football player he became. It wasn't, Carter, it wasn't Coach Corbin, wasn't, Coach Bryant. I mean, it ended up being Jordan Muse. And he ended up putting the work in. When he decided to put the work in, he became that player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, and that's the thing about it, though. You can help a kid, but at the end of the day, the kid got to go do it himself. It's kind of like, Still got the invite. Congratulations to him. He got the invite to the elite, elite 11 QB. I mean, that's a good deal. Some of my QBs I've had, JD Head, they went to that, but now he got to go do it. The coaches can't go do it for him. His dad can't do it for him. Mom can't do it for him. He has to go do it. He has to go perform. No matter if you get that invite, you got to go take care of business. So just, with all this going on, man, parents, I mean, sit back and really, truly look at it, man, because I got to make that decision here in a few more years with what I'm going to do with her. Am I going to send her to Choctaw? I'm going to send her to Colorado, send her to Middle City, send her to Jones. It's a decision that me and Jessica have to sit down, and decision to Zoe, because you want them to go somewhere they're going to be happy. You don't want to go to the school they're not going to be happy, because you got these friends. Because I did. I took my kids out of Colorado and took them to Choctaw, but I did it also in the 7th grade. My kids were at Colorado at 7th grade. They was at Colorado 6 and 7. Then I transferred them over to Choctaw in 7th grade, and at that point it was a great deal to do because one, they're junior high kids, so they haven't built their relationships. I mean, they got buddies they went to school with. A lot of times when kids are in elementary, they transfer from, hey, I might be at Soldier Creek, but then I might end up going to Maroney or Colorado or Jarman where we decide to go. But so I just want parents to think about it before you make that decision, because it might sound good. Hey, I'm taking my baby boy over here, my baby girl or whatever over here. But then at the end of the day, are they really going to fit in over there? Because at the end of the day, it's like when I tell you, when kids go to D1, every kid is good as that kid that's coming on campus. Exactly. Every kid is that good. You know what I'm saying? There's no B team. There's no C team. Every kid is fighting for a starting position when you go to play Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. I don't care what it is. Anytime you step on a field or a basketball court or a mat, you're fighting with a guy that's trying to take your job. He's trying to get to the next level. So I just want to kind of touch base on that, man, because I know some stuff going on, and it'll come out in the next few weeks. Teams and not just one team or two teams and coaches and players are getting investigated. I mean, and I know, I know a little bit more than I should know, because that's what I do. I keep it what?
Keep it 100, baby.
100, baby. One thing about it, man, keep it 100 is always gonna know what's going on, man. I mean, I call Aaron McConnell. I text him the other day and said, hey, congratulations. He's like, what? I said, man, your boy, going to TCO. Big deal for, Cade. Cade's a good kid. I've been around Cade a couple times. He's good. I tell you right now, I hope they push Big Alton the same, because I think Alton is good too. I mean, might not be as good as Cade, but I think the kid is a D1 prospect. He does have a D1 body. We both know that. I think he's a little bit tougher. I mean, like mean wise, I think Cade, when he goes to that next level, he's going to have to get that little more toughness. And his dad knows. His dad will tell you the same thing. It's not knocking the kid, because Cade got all the upside to be a great offensive lineman. I watched the kid from Westmore that was at sophomore and was at Westmore. Now he's at OU, Bray. And, I watched that kid, man, up close, and I see him. He can't get on the field at OU. And you're thinking, why, man, this kid used to dominate people, 2 or 3 people at the same time. He's pushing them. But now your kid can't even touch the field. So that's what I tell people all the time. When you go to that next level, man, it's the real deal. It ain't no joke. So good luck to Cade. Good luck to Donnie. Good luck to Chase, all 3 of those guys, man. It's pretty cool. You got 3 guys that you played high school ball with, that you can hang out with and become brothers with up there, because you got each other's back, because you know each other. So good luck to those 3 guys, and good luck to all the kids that signed. I know we didn't get to talk about that last time. I forgot about it, because we've been stuck into wrestling and basketball. But good luck to all those guys that did sign. I mean, Chris Parker. I think you went up there, didn't you? Did you go to signing day?
I did go up there to see the signing. Got to see all those boys. that I played ball with last year, just to see them, growing up around them and seeing them live out their dreams, stuff that we used to talk about when we were kids.
Yes, sir.
Going out and living that out. Chris Parker's one of those guys. He just lived right around the street. We were hanging out together all the time. So just being able to see him and his family on that day, all celebrating, it was really cool.
No, that's a good deal.
So, but yeah, and then, with all my Choctaw guys going up to TCU, man, I might have to show up to Norman wearing purple one time. I don't know. But, I'm a diehard OU fan, but, when it comes to, actually seeing those guys actually coming up, being around them, you might see me in a Horned Frog sweatshirt or something up at an OU game sometime.
No, that's cool, man. You got to support those guys, man. Chase and, and Donnie, I just hope Donnie, I know he's going to be able to prefer walk on, and hopefully he can earn a scholarship. And I think the kid will. I'm really eager to see where he's going to play. He's going to, if he's going to have his hands on the ground, he's going to play, stand-up linebacker. And I think he's going to have to do a lot of work, working on coveraging because, in that scheme he was in at Choctaw, he blitz a lot. But, these college coaches get you right. A lot of these kids graduate early. I know Jordan's up there at OU already. Chase is up there at TCU. So I know Chase has had surgery. So good luck to him and his family, and hopefully he can beat that injury bug, because I'm telling you, man, you start having them surgeries and, operating on that body, man, you're never the same, man. You lose a step. I tell you, I tore my Achilles when I was 28 and I was never the same. And not saying I was anything great, but I tell you before then I could run a little bit, and, now I can't even jog up the street. But, nowadays with everything they got with these doctors and all that, they can get you right. So good luck to those guys though, man. Like I said, folks, I know we took last week off, but we're going to come back strong. We'll start having some more guests on. I was going to have Donnie King on, from Carl Albert, kind of talk about his journey. He signed with Murray State in baseball. So we'll probably have him on with the weather and everything going on. And me and he not being together, we're Zooming, which is it's cool. We're still getting it done, I like it. It's a little different, but, we're not sitting next to each other, but, we're still putting out great information, and all those things, though. So, like I said, basketball's right around the corner here. You got wrestling. Like I said, that Choctaw game was a good game the other night. I know PC West has been kind of struggling. I hope Coach Lenny can get him back going. Coach Lenny, it's funny, we talking about the other Lenny. Now, Lenny Hatchett got his boys going over at Dell City. Coach, I tell you, we didn't get to really talk about the Kingfisher Carl Albert game, that much. But I tell you, Kingfisher's the real deal, though, man. Coach Price, he took a little beat a little bit. Hey, you popular over there, man.
Yeah, my mom's calling me.
You better tell her you're doing a show real quick, keeping it 100.
I know, I'm telling her. I'm trying to.
Yeah, all right. So what else you got on regionals, though? I know we jumped over the subject, but I kind of want to talk about, the recruiting and kids moving and changing addresses and stuff like that, man. But really, truly, parents, before you do it, make sure, because I tell you, the kid that was at Jones, man, it was at Jones, Carl Albert. He was at Jones, Carl Albert, Choctaw. Then he ended up going up to, to Allen, Texas, Zach Gorman, I think was his name, Zach. Good friend, kind of know him pretty well. He's worked out with us when we did some quick clinic stuff, worked out with some QBs, but, Zach, he was working for my friend Darren Head, JD's dad, worked with JD at QB, but, he ended up going to Allen, and, he was at Jones, and he was at Carl Albert. He went to Jones at Choctaw. He's at 3 or 4 different schools, and, somebody followed him. And I'm telling you, man, you guys might think it's, you always might, the person that you think is turning you in, you might think is your enemy, but it ain't your enemy. There's somebody that you close to, that's your homeboy, your homegirl, whatever. I know a lot of people might say, oh, Tony hates Choctaw. I don't hate Choctaw. I don't have no beef against Choctaw. My kids graduate from Choctaw. There's things I like about Choctaw, there's things I don't, but everybody has their own opinion. I mean, shit, Trump says a lot of shit and everybody's cool with it. So Tony John can say the hell same thing, though. So it's all good, but but really, really, truly, though, man, watch what you do, because last thing I want to see a kid not to be able to play his senior year, man. I'm telling you, that'll hurt a kid more than anything, because they ain't gonna recruit you if you ain't playing. I'll tell you that. So who else we got regionals, though, Big E?
The next one on the east side is Muskogee versus Bixby. Bixby's doing their thing on the basketball court just like they're doing on the football field, so anytime that you can go out there and maybe win 2 state championships in 2 of those major sports, that's a big deal. but
Yes, sir.
they'll have to get through a pretty tough regionals bracket.
Region.
So, and then lastly on the east side for boys, we got Owasso versus Booker T. Washington. And I haven't heard a lot about either of those teams as far as basketball goes this year.
I think Booker T's kind of down this year a little bit though, Big E. I mean, kind of like, I heard that their running back, we jump back to football, heard their running back transfer out and is going to Jinx. So it just tells you, man, these kids pack up and leave now like it ain't nothing, man. It's like a breakup, man. You break up, you on to the next girlfriend. So these guys, man, it's not loyalty, man, like it used to be, man. I mean, I was in Middle City, man. I would never thought about leaving Middle City and going to Colorado. But I almost left one time my sophomore year. Me and my best friend Danny, he lived in Choctaw, and I almost left this so I can start because I didn't start my sophomore year in Middle City, so I was kind of down. But my mom's like, man, you guys stick through it, and sometimes you have to stick through it, man. And people don't realize that though. They're like, oh man, it's back up. It's like these kids and these transfers. I mean, they transfer, they'll come to OU, OSU, and boom, they're transferred to another school. And I understand some of the situation, like the QB. If you got a Spencer Rattler in front of you, you ain't gonna play, man. You might as well jump ship. I don't blame you that. But some of these guys, man, like your boy Boogie, he jumped ship. Well, Boogie's pretty good. He was a 5-star athlete, but I think Boogie's biggest problem is that he want to do bonehead decisions on the field. Push a kid, or after you make a great play, you're gonna get a personal foul. You got to be smarter than that, son. But him going to a smaller school, I mean, he might get reps because. Oh, you brought in some big guys, man. You bring in guys like a Jordan Mukes and some of the other guys they brought in 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". It's going to be hard for a guy that's 5'8", pushing 5'8", probably really
all those Tennessee
5'7".
they got as well, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I understand sometimes transferring out, but, high school kids transferring out because, hey, this quarterback over here or this running back over here is going to help me. Man, you don't know that, man. I'm telling you right now. Man, these college coaches, man, if they see one little thing wrong with you, they're not going to come get you, man. I'm just telling you, man. I lived it. I seen it, I mean, it's so much now that I can give back to my nephew. I can give back to Zoe. As far as, helping them get recruited in the long days, is getting that film out, man. You got to get that film out. I mean, you see a guy like, Buddy over there at Carl Albert, which Carl Albert's going to get a new coach. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Coach, he stepped down, who you think it's going to be?
Man, I really don't know.
I think it's going to be, hey, I'm going to keep it 100, man. They might get mad at me saying, but, I think it's going to be Coach Dunn. Why not come back home, where you started it at? He's a Carl Albert graduate. He's a mid-Dell guy. He's good. You know what I'm saying? This gives him a chance he can go to Carl Albert, and, Robert Jones can take over Dell City, and Robert Jones, the defensive coordinator for Dell City, he's done a great job with the defense, and it'll be time to him to get a good head coaching job. You know what I'm saying? So you can kill what they say, knock out two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
You get Robert a job, you bring Don back home. Colorado don't go outside outside the too much of their conference zone. So I either think it'll be I either think it'd be Mike Dunn, or I think it'd be Coach Johnson, the quarterback coach, but I could see Don doing it. I think he'd be a great fit. I mean, he's a mid-Dell guy, and Don's a good coach. I'm not going to take nothing from him. I like Don a lot. People might say, man, you was tough on, I was tough on Don. I'm tough on Don because Don got tough skin. We talk shit. At least once or twice a month, I like Coach Dunn. I think Coach Dunn is, I don't think he's that fake news guy. I think he keeps it, kind of 100. I think we don't really talk sports. We talk about kids and, his brother and all that. His brother's the athletic director at, Broken Arrow. They just hired a new coach. So I really like Coach Dunn a lot. I think he does a great job. I know he had a tough year, but I think he'll get it turned around. One thing about that guy, he knows too much about, he's coached in, Arizona. He coached in Texas and Mexico. So the guy's been all over. He's not just been down the street. He's been all over. Whatever program he goes to, he'll get him going though. So, I don't know if he's gonna get the job. He's never, I teased him the other day, like he's gonna be, and, he kind of ignored the questions. So a lot of times they ignore the questions. They don't want me to know what's going on. But me saying, I think he'll be the next great Carl Albert Titan head coach. So that's me talking though. So, but it's sad to see a guy like Corley, but I kind of really like why Corley stepped down, but he had, he's won but it's coached with 5 years, won 5 state championships. I mean, I guess it's the best way to go out, man. I don't know if the team's going to be as good as they were last year. You got some kids transferring out. They lose a quarterback. I know people's kind of tough on Colorado right now about their recruiting, and they don't. Me personally, I don't think Colorado does enough. You got a guy like Buddy. That's, me and you both feel like he's the best running back in the state of Oklahoma. As far as running back or linebacker, that he should have, 15 to 20 offers. You see the kid over at at Choctaw Brown, he's gotten offers left and right. And I'll tell you right now, Buddy is built kind of like that kid. Probably just as athletic as that kid. I know they play different positions, but hey, if they're looking at the kid over there on 10th Street, why not look at the kid on Post Road? They're both, they're out recruiting and looking at kid. Buddy looks like a grown man. So I just think Colabra's have to do a better job, whoever the next head coach is, do a better job getting kids recruited, because you will lose kids. And I think that's why you're starting to get kids transfer out, because you've had some great kids come out, Colabra, and done some great things, but you really see him, though. You don't see a lot of kids. Even Rabin, we talked to him. He really didn't have no big time offers. His big offers was Utah State. He ended up going to a Power 5 school as a defensive back, but the Colorado really pushed him. Jay Hunt, I think, like I said you before, I think Jay Hunt got a lot of his because who his dad was. His dad knows a lot of people, and that helps. Though your daddy knows somebody. Lucky I didn't play Division I ball. I play NAI ball, so I guess I didn't do good enough myself as a father to get the boys recruited or any kid recruited. Though, but I think you really, as a parent, you got to go out there and pub your kid. Though you can't depend on the coaches. You can't. And if you do, you better read a book, because I'm telling you, you better have that huddle up. You better have game film up. You better have stuff up. I'll tell you, Donnie Wingate's mom's probably one of the best ones. If you watch her on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, she's always pubbing his name out there. So kudos to her. But what else, Big E? I'm just rambling, baby. Come on. We ain't talking big, so I got stuff in my mind.
Yeah, just trying to get through these regional matchups in basketball. I'm just going to go over some of the top matchups and some of those teams that I feel like will perform really good as the tournament goes on. You got Edmond Memorial against U.S. Grant. They could do something,
Who? U.S. Grant?
No, Edmond Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah. You ain't hear much about U.S. I don't know. Maybe basketball is one of those sports, man. You have one player have one bad game. It could affect the whole team, and underdog could end up winning. So that's what I think is very interesting about basketball. You get in, you watch the NCAA tournament. How many times does a number 1 seed actually go as far as they say that they're going to go? Last year or a few years ago, you had the number 1 seed get beat out by a number 16 seed. So, you just never know what's going to happen there in basketball. So another one, Choctaw versus UConn. Choctaw, they've been pretty good all season. This is probably by far their best season that they've had in a really long time. Only losing a handful of games. So going up there, playing at Edmond Santa Fe, playing against UConn. And then
where's that going to be held at?
Edmond Santa Fe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
so it's not too far. So it's not like they're traveling a long way. Now, when's these games start? They start this week or next week?
Next week.
Next week. Okay. Hopefully the weather is better by then.
Yeah.
These kids can get in the gym and practice.
But I don't know. February 26th is when all these are starting.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we got a little more war going on in basketball. We got Moore and Westmore. Pretty big rivalry. I know with football, it's pretty big rivalry. I don't know about basketball. But
well, it's bragging rights. When you see each other at Burger King or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, baby, it's bragging rights. So yeah, it's a big time game. No matter what sport it is, it's always gonna be bragging rights, man. You want to have, it's kind of like a Milwaukee City, Dell City. You want to have that bragging rights when you see that guy at Brahms parking lot. Like, man, remember that time? And that's what it is right there.
And then the team that's been doing pretty good throughout the whole season is Edmond North. Or no, am I thinking of Norman North? Edmond North? I don't know.
Edmond North is pretty good too, though, man. I think at one point in time they was ranked number 1. Kingfisher knocked him off earlier years. So I just tell you right now, though, man, it's 6A is wide open. I think 5A, I think it's Colabra's the team to beat. 4A Kingfisher. Then you got 3A, you got Heritage Hall, but I just tell you right now, man, it's wide open. You know, I mean, it's one of those deals that, like you said, you get hot. You know, how many fans are gonna let you have in the game? How many, you know, how these regionals gonna work? Are they gonna be, you know, is it how many fans are gonna let you have? Are they gonna let you have 4 people in? I mean, is it gonna be a home crowd advantage or what? You know, I mean, that's what you have. You know, I tell you right now, man, as a kid, in any sport right now, man, you're doing everything you can. You're in a bubble, man. You're trying to stay away from everybody so you don't have to get quarantined if you are the leading scorer. I mean, think about Alexander. He's, you know, for Heritage Hall, if he gets sick right now, you know, they don't have a really good chance to win the tournament, you know, or you know, any of these teams with their big time stars, you know, are they going to have a chance to win it? You know, Dell City with Young, you know, Slim. You know, if he gets sick right now with COVID, is he going to have a chance to win? You know, help Dell City win it? No, so it's wide open, man. I just tell you right now, it's wide open. Coaches and you know and parents, you got to do everything that's right to kind of keep your kid in the bubble and make sure he's doing everything right, that he doesn't get connected. I mean, think about it, he wrestles a kid that he beats, and then that kid finds out he has COVID, and guess what? He can't wrestle next week, so now his dream's over. Kind of like the kid we had on earlier this year, Cade Mannion, you know, for Deer Creek. You know, he broke his wrist. You know, he's done for the season. He's a senior. He's done. He's not going to get to finish senior year. And that sucks, though, for a young man like that. At just one state, looking to win the second state championship, and he's not going to get a chance to do it, though. So I just tell you, man, I'd be glad this stuff is over. I think everybody should go get the shot. Quit playing around, man. You know, I mean, I've kind of got used to wearing a mask. So I drive around the car with my mask on, but I love to get back to normal, though. So, and I think you are going to. You can start seeing Oklahoma State and OU. They're both talking about they're going to have graduation. OSU's talking about having full fans next year. So everything is kind of coming to the halt, though, man. But anything else, Big E?
No, just a couple of teams that have been performing well. Carl Albert. They'll be playing, and I think they're on the west side of the bracket. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, Carl Albert will be on the west side of the bracket. They're hosting that side of regionals. So you got MacArthur, Southeast, Coweta, and Carl Albert hosting the regionals in the 5A West Division. And and then Carl Albert's playing Altus. I mean, I think they'll win that game. They've been dominant all year. So I think they'll win that. And then you got 4A. They got a lot more teams in 4A, so they're going into area, not quite regionals yet. So they got area coming up next week.
I think they're all going in area first, though. I think that's what what's called this next week. 5A and 6A, all those teams all go to area first. Okay. So yeah, everything's gonna be area next week.
Yeah, I couldn't find the area brackets for 6A and 5A, but on here on 4A, you got Kingfisher playing Elk City. I never heard of Elk City, not gonna lie. Kingfisher's been dominant in 4A all year. You know, you got Bajan Cortez going on to OU next year, and they got they just have a lot of depth on that basketball team. So I think they'll make a good run and could win state in 4A this year. But
I just tell you, man, I just heard that kid was pretty aggressive and all that, though, man. While we on basketball, I got to watch Choctaws girls play, and I know Trinity Gooden's on the way to Rice, man. And I tell you, man, she does a lot for him. She brings the ball down. But I tell you that Jackson, RJ's little sister, man, she can flat out shoot the ball. So I mean, they beat me with C the other night too. And I tell you, Choctaw girls is pretty loaded, and then right now we have a little hustle team, man. I got their picture up. I got to give them a shout out.
Then win that championship this week.
Yeah, they won the ring championship, man. And I mean, they played pretty good. Saturday morning they came out and they played a team out of Washington, beat them 36-2. I was supposed to play a team. It's so funny. We were supposed to play a team out of Altus. They played and watched us play. They supposed to play as 115. They said he couldn't play. They was in another tournament. They supposed to play as at 6. They didn't play as at 6. So they ended up playing the 5th and 6th grade team. They ended up beating them 21-13. And just to see those girls be 4th graders come up and play. Girls is older than them, stronger than them, and bigger than them, and beat a team like that. 21-13, and came back Saturday morning and beat that Washington team again and beat them this time even worse. But I think they beat them 38-0 this time, and broke out the black jerseys, the mama jerseys, man, is what we call them, the lady hustles. But just to see those girls take care of business, we got in a tournament under a different name. It's funny because we got to, we're that team that people really don't want to play us, and we're called Lady Hustle, but we entered this tournament. It's called Pickup. because we didn't want people to jump out. There was a certain team that we wanted to hook up with, but they ended up getting beat by Zoe's old team, SWAT. So we played SWAT. 3 of the girls that's on the hustle was on a SWAT team. So we ended up playing against them. And I think we beat them 26 to 6 or 26 to 5. Coach Chris kind of, he took a little pressure off, which, a lot of those girls, they train together and work out together. So you don't want to kind of beat up your little sisters too bad. But I thought it was cool to see these, we've missing one of our girls. She had twisted her ankle, grew out in Oklahoma. She didn't get to make it this weekend, so we had 6. But the girl shot the ball well. We had one young lady coming off COVID, catching her breath. But, Zoe Point and, the forwards and the centers, I mean, they got the ball to them and they shot lights out. But the ring they won is pretty cool. I got to give it up to them, man. It's pretty nice, though, man. I never won nothing like that when I was a kid, but it just tells you how these tournaments are now, though, man, is that, man, they're the real deal, though, man.
Let's see it. Oh, yeah, that's
nice.
nice.
That's pretty nice, son. So I got to give it to them, though, man. Lady Hustle, they took care of business, but, they're this weekend is supposed to play in the tournament, but, depends on the weather's permitting, but we'll go back down to Wichita and play in it, probably go play down in Texas in the national tournament. So Coach Chris and Collier got these boys, Brad, Collier, which is Andy's little one. Chris is the older brother, and Brad's the youngest brother, and Andy's the middle one. But kind of got these boys, got these young ladies in the right mind. Coach Chris does a great job training these girls, getting them up and getting them right. So got to give him a shout out. But I just tell you, keep it 100, man. We're going to keep rolling, man. We're getting into spring football. We'll start going on site when the weather gets a little bit better. So talk to some of the top prospects for the next couple of years. You'll probably start seeing these guys like a Still or RJ, Latrell, some of the kids over at, Mill City, Dell City. You'll probably start seeing some of these guys start to get their first, offers and all that because, they're not sophomores anymore. They're going to be juniors. And so you'll start seeing people knock on their door and getting their first offer. And it ain't nothing like a kid to get his first offer, man. It's like, he's going to be grinning every year, when one of those boys get it, And RJ's going to be probably 2-sport, he can get it in baseball or football. So it's going to be kind of, exciting. Like to see, like I said, good to see Kobe Crew get his. Love to see Buddy get his, I'm excited. I know it's coming. We both know it's coming, Mill City got to rebuild a little bit. They lost a little bit, but, Coach Hall get those guys going over there. Zoe's rebuilding over there at Westmore. He got some kids that's moved in, so he should have it legit over there, man. And, Jones, man, Carson's got an offer the other day from Eastern Michigan. He'll start getting some more stuff come in. He'll probably be tied at the top QB in the state next year, even though he's at Jones, Oklahoma, but I still think Coach Martin does a good job. I wouldn't be surprised if Carson get an offer from Baylor because I know Martin got a good pipeline friendship with the guys at Baylor, though. And you see TCO keep coming out to this side of the state and grabbing kids. So it'll be really interesting to see who they get next. But I think next year is wide open. All the classes, man. I think 6A big is going to be wide open. Jinx won it. I don't even think Jinx was predicted to win it, but they did win it. And, you got Bixby coming back with with Presley. They're going to replace a quarterback. You still have Choctaw, Booker T, they'll have their quarterback back and their top kid back. What's his name?
Gentry Williams.
Yeah, he'll be back. So, yeah, they might have lost their running back. There's a reason that running back left. It's probably somebody better than him behind him. So, you'll see that. But I think it's like I said, I think it's wide open next year, though, in all the classes, though. I hope baseball get a chance to get their season going. And, love to see what Coach Hall can do with those guys, man. And talking to him a couple weeks ago, we scrimmaged some his son's team, man. And he, his schedule's tight. He's playing broken. They're always playing Jinx or Owasso. So, I mean, and that's what you do. You go play the best to be the best. And, you knock those guys off, can't nobody knock you. So, good luck to Choctaw baseball. I love to see Ethan Rome get his offer, him and McCraffrey both, both great baseball players, though. So, love to see Big E get his, man. I'm knocking on the door, Rome, to get you something, man. Wichita State, quit playing around, go get that boy. I tell you that. But E, man, I know we ain't got that much more to talk about. Hopefully we can get together in person next week. I'm glad we got a chance to get this show going, though. Get some stuff out. get some stuff rattled a little bit. I know people are like, man, what's Tony talking about recruiting? But hey, recruiting goes on everywhere, baby. That's what I do. I keep it 100. I don't hide nothing. If you don't like what I'm saying, you ain't got to listen, but I want you to listen because guess what? We're always bringing it to you. We're not bringing you fake news. We're bringing you real news. That's what we do. We keep it what?
100.
All day long, baby. All day long. Hey, appreciate it, man. Stay warm.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, I'm gonna try to, man. I got my vest on tonight, man. Got the heat going on. I don't know if y'all can see the fireplace, but it's really cranked up tonight. Usually we just have the lights looking, but it's cranked up tonight, baby. And I'm telling you, I try to get Zoe to come here and do the show with me. She's like, no, Daddy, it's too cold in there. Which I understand. She ain't lying though, baby. It's freezing in here. But hey, we got to do a show, man. We held out last week. We coming back. We keep it 100 because, like I said, with some. And folks, we haven't forgot about the scholarships. I know people like, you just talking. No, we're not talking. I just talked to Eric just the other day, and he asked me if we're still doing it. So yes, we are. We are going to do it. We're not going to hold back. So it's coming. We'll kind of got to really get some stuff online to find people how they can get registered to be one of our first Keep It 100 scholarship offering. Give a 500 scholarship to a young man or woman. We don't discriminate. It can be a young lady or man. So we'll get those details out here in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, it's kind of right now with all the snow and the COVID going on, we had to change some things that we zoom in, but we still got a show in. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Warm. And guess what? We always keep it what?
We keep it 100
all day long. Never forget.
Sir.
Peace.